Obsessive possession is the root of all suffering. Bear has known Nikki for years before he ruins everything. Years of trivia nights, shared coworkers and friends, the easy shorthand of people who have spent enough time in each other's orbit to stop seeing each other clearly. Years of proximity, years of wanting, years obsessing. Bear is in love with the gap between them, the carefully maintained space of wanting someone you have never had to be honest with, which functions less as a source of frustration and more as a way of life, or maybe a habitat. In that gap, Nikki can be whatever he needs her to be. She is always on the verge of confirming what he already believes about her. The idea that he never has to test the idea of her against the reality of her. He is in love with a projection he has been refining for years. But the wish folds that gap. It removes the distance, and suddenly, Nikki's in his apartment, in his bed, waiting for him to get home, watching him sleep. The idea of her has nowhere left to live. The reality of her floods in to take its place, and the thing he spent years wanting was never Nikki. It was the idea of Nikki. It was the version of her that only exists before you know someone, before you have seen the weird, ungovernable intricacies of a person at close range, before you understand what it actually costs to be in the same room with another human being every day. The willow comes with a warning. Most people who buy it come back to complain. Hollowed out and tender, already the kind of heart that stops listening to warnings when it is standing in the gap of presence. The willow does exactly what it promised to do, but getting what you want and wanting what you get are not the same wish, and there is no customer service line that will fix the difference. And then everything changes. Binaural, low, hypnotic. It does not call attention to itself. It just settles in, the way early infatuation does, the way the first weeks of something new do, when everything vibrates slightly above ordinary life. It is the sound of attention, the sound of being seen and scoring Bear as much as it's scoring Nikki. Because the willow does not possess Bear the way it possesses her. It simply makes her possession visible, but leaves his invisible. Bear is under his own version of the same enchantment. The enchantment of finally having what he thought he wanted, occupying the negative space of the relationship he imagined, moving through its motions, cohabitating, arguing, managing, arguing again, the sound of two people who are not right for each other. And snap, Nikki surfaces, briefly gasping, terrified, herself for just a moment. It is the tunnel vision widening. It is the real sound of what is happening underneath the frequency, exposed for just long enough to be unbearable before the hum returns. Bear is passive in a way that looks like cowardice, but Bear's stillness is something that passivity conceals. He's stopped believing he has the right to act. He made the wish, this situation, a consequence of a choice his previous self made on a night when he was grieving and not thinking clearly. And he can no longer distinguish between the trap he is in and the trap he built. He has already been convicted by his own actions and is now simply serving the sentence. A punishment, self-administered, paid in silence. At some point, he picks up the phone. He calls the number on the back of the package, searching for a technicality, an administrative exit, a way out that does not demand he be the one to do the hard thing. What he gets instead is Nikki, screaming. He is afraid of what she'll do to herself. The middle school logic of the person who promises to fall apart if you leave. Spoken or unspoken, that keeps you in place, not because you believe it, but because the cost of being wrong is too high. It gives the relationship a hostage logic that love is not supposed to have, but sometimes does, where leaving feels more dangerous than staying, even when staying is costing everything. Sarah is a good friend. The way she talks to him, the warmth that is perhaps a degree beyond friendship, the version of being known that doesn't require a wish. She sees him, and the clarity that arrives is the specific, brutal clarity that only comes after a forced decision, when you can finally perceive what was available to you all along, now that it's too late. He's made his bed, and Nikki would not let him leave. Nikki and Bear are more alike than they appear. She is explosive, bleeds, ruptures. He is the quiet one. He contains, absorbs, endures. Side by side, they read as opposites, but the shape they make together is a horseshoe. Both of them are white-knuckling a situation that is consuming everything around them, grin and bearing it. The difference is only in the direction the pressure travels. Nikki breaks outward, Bear turns inward, both imprisoned. Their shared binaural theme, the sound of two people locked in the same room by different locks. Because the horror is not that they are wrong for each other in some dramatic, incomprehensible way, it is that they are wrong for each other in the most ordinary possible way, incompatible, misaligned in their frequencies, different in what they need, the kind of mismatch that ends most relationships passively, through mutual recognition over time. Bear dies from oxycodone, the same thing that killed his cat. An escape of sorts, the last thing in a long series of attempts to find a way out that does not require him to directly face what he has caused. But Bear attempts to renege on his own action, to reach back into a choice already made and undo it. And snap, Nikki breaks a wish willow. The final decision was never his. He could not even choose to save himself. A wish made out of the same desperate, consuming love or obsession the first wish produced. Bear sentenced by his own wish, unable to escape even his own attempt to escape. His liberation of Nikki is the accidental consequence of his final act of self-avoidance. And Nikki comes back, not into her life, not into the trivia nights, the music store, the friend group, the version of herself that existed before a man she worked with broke a novelty toy and decided her feelings for him. She comes back into a room full of wreckage. Ian is dead. Sarah is dead. Bear is dead. She's sitting in an apartment she never chose to move into, surrounded by the consequences of someone else's loneliness. And she is the only one in the room who never got to make a choice. Bear chose. Ian chose. Sarah tried to offer an exit and was killed for it. And what Nikki inherits is not relief, but the full, unobstructed weight of a life she did not ruin, but can never recover from. Innocence holding all the grief. The willow comes with one wish. Use it carefully. Most people who buy it come back to complain. He got his wish. Nikki loved him more than anything in the world. But when the hum finally stops, when Bear is gone and Nikki is sitting in the silence he left behind, what remains is the question the willow was always asking. Not whether the wish was worth it, not whether he should have known better, but whether the thing he was wishing for ever existed in the first place. Whether the Nikki he wanted, the one across the gap, the one on the verge of confirming everything he believed, the one that lived in the distance between them, was ever a person at all. But the idea of her is gone.